Hello, I'm Jenna Johnson, and this is COVID-19 News. According to the World Health Organization, the U.S. now has over 7.2 million cases of COVID-19 and over 206,000 deaths attributed to the virus. This week, we'd like to start with this. Because the rest of the news is like, fuck. The first presidential debate took place this week.
Which was heavily
Mr. President,
you would have been
President,
much later, Joe.
Mr. President,
much later.
Mr. President,
you're talking about 2 million people.
You're not President as a moderator.
He has never
I've
offered a plan.
fixed it to an extent.
He has never done a single thing.
as you might know, but probably don't.
Gentlemen, you realize if you're both speaking at the same time,
that it doesn't work. So we do want to get rid of it. Chris, we want to get rid of it.
I understand it, sir, but I have to give you roughly equal time. Please let the Vice President talk.
Good.
He has no plan for health care.
Of course we do.
Please, but are you not worried about it spreading disease?
As a president, and I'll have 35,000 people show up at airports. We use airports.
Are you not worried about the disease issues, sir?
Well, so far, we have had no problem whatsoever. It's outside. That's a big difference.
Okay. He's not worried about you. He's not worried about the people out there breathing in one another.
We've had no negative effect.
No negative effect.
We've had no negative effect. And we've had 40,000 people at these rallies.
To finish up, because I want to move on to our next.
Yes, I would. He's been totally irresponsible the way in which he has handled the social distancing and people wearing masks, basically encourage them not to.
All right.
He's a fool on this.
If you the question is, Justice, radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list?
4 years you have promised to repeal and replace Obamacare, but you have never in these 4 years come up with a plan, a comprehensive plan to replace Obamacare.
Of course I have.
Well,
I got rid of the individual mandate.
I'm going to give you an opportunity.
I got rid of the individual mandate, which was a big chunk of
Obamacare.
That is absolutely a big thing. That was the worst part of Obamacare.
Sir,
Chris, that was the worst part of Obamacare.
Let me ask my question.
Well, I'll ask Joe. The individual mandate was the most unpopular aspect of Obamacare. I got rid of it.
I'd like
and we will protect people with
President, I'm the moderator of this debate, and I would like you to let me ask my question, and then you can answer your plan.
Well, first of all, I guess I'm debating you, not him, but that's okay. I'm not surprised.
But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you
I'm
prepared
to do
specifically
do it?
Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
who would you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
The president also criticized the size of Joe Biden's mask, claiming it was the biggest mask he'd ever seen.
200 feet away from it, he shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
Come on, Joe. You missed a clear opportunity to reply, "That's not my mask."
Dick joke.
Just as an FYI, masks have been shown to reduce the spread of the virus in laboratory experiments with hamsters. Infected hamsters were placed in cages next to uninfected hamsters, with some of the cages having a mask in between. This was after failing to get the hamsters to wear their masks voluntarily. 2 days after the debate, Donald Trump tweeted, "Tonight at Flotus and I tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together."
24 hours later.
I'm going to Walter Reed Hospital. I think I'm doing very well, but we're going to make sure that things work out. The First Lady is doing very well.
Together, huh? He was airlifted to Walter Reed Hospital while Flotus is... where? Well, she has her own problems to handle after audio of her complaining about migrant children and Christmas decorations leaked to the public.
Where I am, I'm working like a ass I know. Christmas stuff that, who gives a about Christmas stuff and decoration, but I need to do it, right?
Yeah, but 100%, you have no choice.
And then I do it, and I say that I'm working on Christmas, planning for the Christmas, and they said, "Oh, what about the children? They were separated." Give me a break.
So interesting to hear the First Lady speak. Her command of the English language continues to be best. The president later released a video from the hospital on behalf of himself and Melania.
Melania asked me to say something as to the respect that she has for our country, the love that she has for our country. As you've probably read, she's slightly younger than me, just a little tiny bit.
Oh, was that a humble brag on how much younger she is than him, or was he insulting her? Either way, creepy. It's so hot. You know, when I was 30, she was like 6. And when I was 5, she was like -19. And when I wasn't even born, neither was she. And we would have sex, because love is timeless, and she'd rather I not be there. She'd rather I not be there. It's reported that Donald Trump may have contracted the virus from White House advisor Hope Hicks, whom he is always in very close quarters with, leaving the president's relationship with his daughter Ivanka in doubt. So far, the people in Trump's circle who have tested positive for the virus are the First Lady, White House advisor Hope Hicks, former White House advisor Kellyanne Conway, Trump campaign manager Bill Stepien, Utah Senator Mike Lee, the Reverend John Jenkins, North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis, GOP chairwoman Ronna McDaniel, Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson, and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. I think I just got bingo. There's confusion as to when the president contracted the virus, before or after he attended indoor fundraising events on Thursday. On Saturday morning, his doctor said the president was diagnosed 72 hours ago, which would make the diagnosis sometime late Wednesday. But the doctor later walked back the statement, saying what he meant to say was Trump was on day 3 of the diagnosis. See, what had happened was, I meant to say day 3, which in hours, 3 days is 72 hours. But that would make me not have my job, so I had to change my wording. 72 hours is not 3 days in this case per se, but instead less than 3 days. Whatever makes the president not in legal trouble is what I meant to say. And finally, an unidentified grand juror in the Breonna Taylor case demanded the release of the grand jury's transcript because he claims he was misled and says the jury was never given the option to charge any of the officers with homicide, only the count of wanton endangerment. Knowing this bit of information gets the jury off the hook for the lack of justice in the case, but now blame lands on Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron. Cameron declined to say if the grand jury was presented with options to consider homicide charges, but does say the officers were justified in their use of force.
Give me a break.
I'm Jenna Johnson, and this is COVID-19 News. Thanks for watching.